Hello, Trekkies and Trekkers. Our look at Season 1 of Star Trek Deep Space Nine continues today with Captive Pursuit. So, here we go. A damaged, unidentified vessel from the Gamma Quadrant docks at Deep Space Nine for repairs. Its reptilian pilot, identified only as Tosk, is the first known life form from the Gamma Quadrant to visit the station. Chief Miles O'Brien suspects Tosk is running from something due to evidence of weapons fire on his vessel. O'Brien befriends Tosk and tries to help him repair his ship. However, Tosk attempts to steal from a weapons locker and is put in a holding cell by Security Chief Odo. Uniformed aliens arrive in the Alpha Quadrant through the wormhole, beam onto the DS-9 promenade, and start a phaser battle with a team led by Commander Benjamin Sisko. The aliens fight their way into the brig where Tosk is being held. Sisko, O'Brien, and Odo enter the room as one of the aliens, the Hunter, removes his helmet and expresses his disappointment to Tosk for capturing him alive. Tosk, it transpires, is the alien's quarry. He commands Sisko to lower the force field and release Tosk, but Sisko refuses. They discuss the issue and Hunter agrees to place the Bajoran wormhole out of bounds for future hunts. As much as he detests this practice, Sisko believes that under the Prime Directive he must release Tosk to the aliens. Aww. After talking to Quark in his bar, O'Brien realizes that he could change the rules of the hunt before Tosk is taken away by the Hunters. He lies to Odo and convinces him to release Tosk into his care, claiming it is a Starfleet, but not a Bajoran matter. O'Brien escorts the Hunter and Tosk to an airlock, but the Chief has rigged it to overload, knocking out the Hunter, allowing O'Brien to help Tosk escape. In Ops, Sisko is informed about the situation and tells Odo to pursue the duo at a leisurely pace, giving O'Brien time to help Tosk escape the station with the Hunters in pursuit. Later, an angry Sisko reprimands O'Brien for his actions. The Chief expresses his surprise at not being apprehended immediately by Odo. Sisko claims that he must have slipped up and smells wryly after O'Brien has left his office. Wow, that Sisko is a very smart man. Wait, let's look at the production of this episode. Originally titled A Matter of Breeding, director Corey Allen said the episode intended to move away from the squeaky clean plots of Star Trek The Next Generation. After the franchise's creator Gene Roddenberry banned disagreements between characters in The Next Generation, this became one of the main elements that the producers wanted to include in the new series. In the episode, this was shown by O'Brien releasing Tosk, but originally, during the teaser segment at the beginning, it was intended to show Dabo girl Miss Sadra propositioning Commander Sisko. Quote, "We had long conversations on that and ultimately came down on the conservative side, but we never even had that kind of conference on TNG," end quote, Allen explained. Executive producer Michael Piller wrote the episode with Jill Sherman Donner, who had previous credits on shows such as Magnum P.I. Nice. Michael Westmore designed the makeup in the episode, drawing inspiration from an alligator he saw in National Geographic magazine to create Tosk's appearance. The Hunters were initially intended to appear more alien-like, with steam rising out of their masks as they opened to reveal a demonic face with huge eyes and scaly skin. However, due to budgetary restraints, the original costume and makeup plans were scrapped, and the description was revised to become a, quote, "rather mundane humanoid face, not far off human," end quote. The transporter effect used by the Hunters was inspired by the science fiction film Metropolis, specifically the scene in which the robot Maria undergoes a transformation. Captive appearance marked the first appearance in the Star Trek franchise for both Scott McDonald and Garrett Graham. McDonald appeared a week later in the Next Generation episode Face of the Enemy as Sub-Commander Navek. He would also appear in the DS9 episode Hippocratic Oath and the Star Trek Voyager pilot Caretaker. In Star Trek Enterprise, he was cast in the recurring role of the Xindi reptilian antagonist Grob Dolim through the third season. Graham was considered, along with Rene Auberjonois, and again I apologize if I mispronounced that, and Andrew Robinson for the role of Odo, who went to Auberjonois. Robinson was later cast as Eileen Garrick. Graham later gained the role of Quinn, the second Q in Voyager, in the episode Death Wish. The episode was positively received by the cast and crew. Many called Captive Pursuit a, quote, classic Star Trek story, end quote, and praised McDonald's performance, naming it his favorite episode of the first season. Michael Piller said it was one of his favorite episodes of the season, while Rick Berman said it was his favorite out of the first 6 episodes of the series, and noted that the connection between Tosca and O'Brien was, quote, charming, end quote. So overall, yeah, this is it's a pretty good episode overall, and it's also one of my favorites as well. So overall, I give Captive Pursuit 4 warp cores out of 5. Well, tune in a little while, in a few minutes or so, as we take a look at Q-less. So, until then, live long and prosper, everybody.